Tamatoa So Shiny comes from the first chapter and has always found himself bouncing between being competitive and being too slow, and today he's found himself a lucky dime. Tamatoa is an 8-cost, inkable character with 5 strength and 8 willpower. When you play him or quest with him, you may return an item card from your discard to your hand, but what makes this guy truly special is his ability to gain +1 lore for each item we have in play. Normally he quests for 1, but in an item heavy deck, it's not unusual for him to quest for 5, 6, or even 7 lore at a time. But that alone hasn't been consistent enough to make him the powerhouse we want him to be. Introducing Lucky Dime, the newest addition to Tamatoa's collection. Lucky Dime has the ability to gain you lore equal to the lore value of one of your characters for the low cost of 2 ink and exerting itself. Lucky Dime costs 7 to play and is uninkable. But with a supercharged Tamatoa on the field, you'll have turns where Tamatoa is questing for 6, and Lucky Dime also gets to gain 6 lore for you as well. Between these two, in a game where you've gained 0 lore the entire time, these guys can close the game in 2 turns all alone. Lucky Dime also has the added benefit of letting you stay competitive on boards where questing would put you in a bad position, as the dime still gains you lore, but your characters don't need to quest, so you can build yourself up for a quick finishing turn without risking the characters. The drawback, however, is that Lucky Dime requires a character with lore in order to work. If it's just the dime in play, it doesn't actually do anything. A quick breakdown of how to pilot this particular deck is simple. Mulligan for Fishbone Quill at all times, then either look for both Queen of Hearts or both Gastons. You'd like to shift out early if you can. However, you can also move into playing Hiram for some card draw if you're feeling low. The goal is to eventually build up to a massive Tamatoa and take advantage of him. Secondly, we'd like the dime if we can get it, but it's not strictly required. The items are largely meant to sit on the field doing nothing until a Hiram comes along to draw cards, or a Tamatoa comes around to get a benefit from their presence. However, in rare situations, you may find their abilities to be something that you actually need in the moment, so go ahead and take advantage of them. Especially Maui's Fishhook. That card can save you at times. The evasive boon is no joke when you're in a race. As always, the deck link is in the description down below. Let's jump in and see if we can't win a few. Oh, a mirror match. Very interesting, considering I hardly see Sapphire Ruby being played at all. So what are the odds we're playing a mirror match? Well, let's see. I do got the Fishbone, which we can definitely shoot for, but I also have Gaston. I'm basically inking everything else. Okay, that's fine. What would I do? I'd get rid of these and get cheaper cards, or even uninkables, and then I would end up just inking them anyway. Yeah, pretty sure that's exactly what would just happen. Alright, it's gonna be a slow start for me. Mother Gothel. Wonder if opponent will have a way to heal it besides the popsicle. Yep, it's got the popsicle. Okay, so you're not fast enough then. Could set up for fish hook. So little things like this are detrimental, but I think I'm gonna ink you and play Gaston. And then try to force the trade. But if I force the trade, then I don't get an early Gaston, and I do want an early Gaston. If we don't get it, we don't get it. I'm spending my turn 3 playing that Fishbone Quill. So if they want to trade, they're going to trade. They don't want to trade. Not yet, anyway. Alright, we're going to put you away. What do you do? Put an item card from your discard on top of your deck. Okay, so they're going to get the popsicle back. Let's get rid of Dragonfire. Lucky Dime with the Gaston's really good. Just an additional 3 free lore every turn. Well, I have to pay 2 for it, but basically free. Opponent's got their own quill. Well, we know what they're drawing now. A poopsicle. Alright, well, let's start here, because I don't have anything I want to ink. Okay. It's all just ink, basically. Whatever I draw is basically just going to be ink. So I'll leave the two better cards in the deck. Goodbye, fishhook. I'm sorry. I just want to have enough to be able to take out all the stuff. I'll force them to trade with me. Alright, they just drew a poopsicle. So, they get the item in play, but they've effectively given up one ink to draw the card that they were going to draw anyway. Which happened to be a poopsicle. That's funny. I don't think they have anything else in the graveyard. Nope. So they could pop a popsicle to heal the Gothel and then get it back if they want. Or, I think both of their characters are just going to attack Gaston. Yep, here we go. They're looking at him. I'm happy with that because I'm just going to replay another Gaston. You got this, opponent. Alright, let's start with a Gaston. Oh... Should I get another Gaston or another Lucky Dime and just play the Lucky Dime game? I think I want to play the Lucky Dime game. It's a couple of turns of setup, but I don't think my opponent has a way to deal with it. Scrooge McDuck! This is the one that's got to kill a thing, right? Why is it open up? Why is it opening up my character? During your turn, this character gains evasive. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play an item for free. Yes, it is that one indeed. I know, I could use that to draw cards off of Flaversham, but I'm definitely going to go for Lucky Dime here. And we'll pass the turn. I'm going to do Lucky Dime Gaming. Big ol' Tamatoa. What's the Scrooge quest for? Just the one? Just the one. Yeah, I don't even need to quest with my Gaston. I could just lucky game. I got 9 ink on board right now. 9 ink. 9 lore on board. Ooh, that's a big one. That is a big one. I definitely need a Dragonfire. Yeah, you can't pay for Lucky Dime this go around, which is good. Alright, so they're gonna gain... Is this +5? Yeah, it's +5. So this is gonna go for 6, 12, 13 next turn. Which is victory for them, just out of nowhere. Oh, I really needed a Dragonfire. It's 12 just off of Tamatoa and the Lucky Dime. Well, crap on a cracker. I got enough for this though, right? But the +3's not enough. That's only 7 damage to Tamatoa. Well, what are the stinking odds of that? That sucks. Alright, they just gotta quest with Tamatoa and activate Lucky Diamond, they win. You did not need to attack. You've left yourself vulnerable to me potentially winning out of nowhere. That was a mistake. Well, play for your outs, I guess. He goes for 3. 4. There's Dragonfire. Dragonfire buys me another turn. Is Dragonfire enough? Yeah, opponent definitely had victory, and I think they just lost it. I mean, unless they top deck a Tamatoa. And definitely activate these, get my 1 points. Alright, now I have a next turn victory, just play Tamatoa and activate one of the lucky dimes and the game's over. So we'll see what my opponent drew. Dinner Bell draws them 3 cards if they want to activate it, but then they're going to be out of ink. Why activate the Popsicle? Just so it doesn't die when it attacks Flaversham? I mean, opponent had this game won. Let's be crystal clear. They misplayed by attacking instead of questing. I don't know how they missed it, even if they saw the 5 on their Tamatoa and were thinking, oh, that's not enough to win. They still had Scrooge McDuck, who also quests for 1. That would have been the 6 points, even if they were misreading it. I'll get you back, but I'm not going to play ya. I'm just going to win the game. Sapphire Amethyst. So, a lot of card draw. It's a bit of a gamble, but I do kind of have a somewhat of a ramp into a Lucky Dime Tamatoa. Definitely a bit of a gamble. An opponent does have Sapphire, so they have removal. They have removal, like indiscriminate removal. So they can get rid of these things. Alright, well, let's build up for at least a Flaversham on the Scepter. I know I'm giving up an item, but I'm gonna need the card draw so I can keep inking. Especially after I get the Fishbone Quill down and we start getting rid of stuff. Huh, I laugh at your Rafiki. Alright, let's get double items down. The more items, the better, really, for Tamatoa. Just depends on how much and what kind of removal our opponent's running. The tricky bit is I can get Fishbone Quill down, but I won't be able to ink. Won't be able to use it. Because, let's say ink whatever I draw so I can play Fishbone. Well, I want all 3 cards in my hand, so I won't actually be able to use it. Did I just see a Magica Dispel? Okay, opponent definitely is running Lucky Dime. In those colors? For sure. No way around it. That is absolutely heartbreaking. Well, I guess we are going to get to use the Fishbone Quill. That was devastating. Oh boy, we actually really needed Hiram, but I couldn't not do anything. Is there anything that saves us? I mean, we could always top deck another Hiram, which would be fantastic. There's 4 in the deck, so there's 3 more. But I do got a whole bunch of duds in this particular position. Iago, an evasive character. Heart of Tefiti. So some ramp. Okay. And that costs 2 to activate, so you're not activating it. Great. I was just about to say the good news is we get to ink whatever it is we draw. Bad news is I'm basically waiting forever to do anything, and my opponent's going to have removal by the time I get the thing. I desperately need some card draw. It sucks that I had to get rid of Gaston because he has kind of card draw. Well, that Queen's Castle is going to be devastating. It gains lore and it draws cards. It's brutal! It's easily the best location that there is. Oh, what could I possibly draw? Honestly, I want Flaversham. Because as this sits, this is not strong enough. And I know my opponent's sitting on removal. Oh, gross. Why does that keep happening? Fast turn. I don't like this deck. Why are you doing this to me? There's 11 uninkables in the deck. Only 11. And I've just drawn a whole bunch of them. Dragonfire. 2 Gastons. That's 3. That's more than 25%. And I also have the lucky diamond hand. Don't forget to quest. Nothing? Just pass the turn then. You got this, milkshake. Well, at least you're just inkable. Let's hide it though. Alright, well I'm set up for Tamatoa next turn. But the question is, will I be able to keep a Tamatoa? I bet you their hand is like a whole bunch of removal. Because why aren't they playing characters? Are they scared of a board wipe? That could be another thing. They might be thinking that I got the board wipe. Fun fact, I am not running the board wipe in this deck. And sometimes you don't need to run the board wipe when your opponent plays like this. Don't be afraid, opponent. Start inking some of those let it goes. Because I obviously don't. Let's continue to hide what we're doing. I obviously don't play any characters. Obviously. It's way too slow. I'm about to get stomped. They're gonna play a let it go and the game's gonna be over. Or a Hades. I suppose they could play Hades. I doubt it's in their deck though. Definitely let it go's gotta be in there. Ooh, a Mamatala. Okay, that's not removal. Let's see, they're gonna gain 5 just off of this, 6 off of that, 7 off of inking. So they're gonna be at 19, like bare minimum. Bare minimum, that's what they're pulling out here. Let's see, Tamatoa is going for 5, so Lucky Diamond's definitely best on him. Even if I get an item here, I won't be able to really do anything with it. Untap, but can't quest. Increases attack, but doesn't really do much for me. Let's just take you because you're cheap. Though I am going to do this. Alright, they just need a way to play an additional ink, and they win. So, outside of Heart of Tefiti and outside of their normal. So they already got the 2, so let's pick up a 16, 17, 18, 19 by normal ink. So if they have one more, they win. And I gotta imagine they got it. There's the normal one. They still got 4 on board. I still got the 3 on board. Still got 2 left. Now the question is, can they ink? Or do they have a goat? An ink or a goat? Or removal, honestly. They get rid of Tamatoa and they're still very much going to win this game. Tamatoa is the only way I can win this. Another Grandma Tala doesn't do it. Yep, you can't just shift onto Tala. If it's already exerted, it stays exerted. Did we get there? Holy crap, we got there. Quest. Quest. Lucky dime. Holy smokes! This deck just comes out of nowhere.